Hey friends, it's Mari. I'm back today with another project for the Not2Shabby Shop, and I'm going to be creating an A2 size card today for you. Make sure you check the link in the description box below to the Not2Shabby Shop for links to the products that I use today. I am going to be starting off here with some Distress Oxide ink and speckled egg, and I'm going to blend that onto some Neenah Solar White cardstock in 80 pound. I'm just going to do kind of like a really soft circular blend in the center of this cardstock panel, which I have cut to an A2 size. I'm going to just flick some water onto that ink and just create some kind of like little water droplets on that ink and sop up the excess, and it's just going to leave a really nice kind of distress pattern there for me. I'm going to be using the MFT Pawty time stamp set today. I'm going to use one of the images, this one down at the bottom with the kitty and the gift. I'm showing you my microfiber honeybee stamps cloth, which I love for cleaning up my stamps, and I'm going to be using the Gina K amalgam ink to stamp out that little image onto some 80 pound Neenah cardstock using my mini Misty. And I want to use that ink just because it's Copic friendly, and I'm going to be doing some really basic Copic marker coloring here. My little kitty is going to be warm grays. I think I'm using W1 and W2. And I know one of my markers here is super dry. I desperately need a refill for the warm gray one. So I just end up going over the whole thing, I think, with that warm gray too. I'm going to be using BG10 and BG11 for my blue areas and Y11 and Y13 for the yellow areas. I'm just doing some really basic 2-color blends for each one of the different color families I'm using here. Nothing fancy, just going through and putting down some really soft colors. I wanted this to just be a really soft color palette on this little card, and I wanted it to go nicely with that speckled egg ink blending that I'm going to be mounting this little feature image onto once I get it all die cut out. So I'm just going to finish up the ribbon on that present with the Y11 and the Y13, and then I'm going to take the companion die for this image from the companion die set from Pawty Time, and I'm going to place that over the image and then just take some of my purple tape that down to my Neenah cardstock and run that through my Gemini Junior, and that is going to give me just a perfect little image for my card front. Now I'm going to be using the Sugar Pea Designs postage stamp die. I'm going to be using the smaller postage stamp die from the set, and I'm going to cut out that speckled egg Distress Oxide ink area for my card front. I'm also going to put my sentiment on here, which is going to say "Go big on your birthday." I love that, and of course it's from It's Pawty Time or Pawty Time. I've stamped that out with some VersaFine Clair ink, which is slow drying ink, and it allows me to get some clear embossing powder on there. And then I'm just going to melt that with my heat tool, and that's going to give a really nice shiny raised sentiment that really stands out nicely. Now this is the Party Plaid paper pad from My Favorite Things. It's beautiful soft colors. I love this. And I'm going to choose the paper that's the yellow and blue. I'm going to trim that out with a stitched rectangle die and adhere that down to an A2 size card base. This is some Gina K Sea Glass cardstock that I'm using for my card base, which just really complements the blues in this pattern paper as well as the colors in my Copic coloring, and then of course the speckled egg ink. So I am going to adhere this postage stamp paper that I've die cut onto my card base with some 1/2 inch 3M foam adhesive. This is double-sided adhesive tape. I'm going to get 4 strips on there so that this adheres nicely and evenly onto my card base, and you'll just see me there trimming that and getting that onto my paper. And I'm just going to smooth that down so that it's just nice and smooth on my card base. And now I am going to adhere my little colored image to my card base as well, just using some more of that foam adhesive just to give it a little bit more dimension in that way. I really like how this looks. I think this image is so sweet. Stacy Yakala is seriously my favorite card illustrator. I do believe she is amazing, or I guess one of many, to be honest, but I love her images. They are just, I think I just have to collect all of them. That's just as simple as that. Now, one of the things I did notice when I colored these images was, for whatever reason, my black ink smeared a little bit. So I just took my Tombow sand eraser and just got rid of that. It's a super easy way to get rid of any little blemishes. I love that tool. It's one of my favorite tools in my stash. And I also took my white gel pen and I added some sort of little white speckles around the little nose area of my kitty. And that also just kind of disguises any of that smudged ink. I'm taking my Nuvo shimmer pen and I'm adding some sparkle to some of the different areas. I'm also going to add some stickles in some yellow. This one is called Sunburst, and I'm also going to add some stickles in Cool Mint to my different little blue areas, and that is going to be my card. Thank you so much for stopping by. This actually happens to be my last project for Not2Shabby Shop, which makes me very sad, but I have decided to step down from the team, and I have absolutely enjoyed every single thing about being part of Jamie's team. She has a wonderful shop, and she is an amazing lady. So please make sure you check out in the description box below a link to Jamie's shop, and I will see you another time. Have an amazing day, my friends. Stay safe, and I'll see you again. Bye-bye.